Welcome back to the Ramble Room. Today's podcast is the latest news about different events happening in the world and terrifying news you might not have heard about. We upload 2 times a week, so hit that subscribe button on YouTube and hit that follow button on Spotify. First thing up is you gotta talk about the Pope.
This is low key it's like big news happening right now, considering the other Pope just passed away. Like, what was it, last week?
Was it last week? Oh, it's been.
I think so. It was either that or it was over the weekend.
Yeah, within like 5 days, maybe 6.
But yeah,
I don't know.
They're I think it's called the Conclave. I think
it's called the Conclave. I don't know. The Papal Conclave. It's in blue letters right there.
Oh, there it is, right there. But yeah, they just got past their first day and they haven't decided yet.
I wonder. Now, I'm not obviously into that. I don't know anything about it. But is it like one of those things? Because I know they like vote or something.
Yeah, I don't think they usually do it in one day, though. I think it takes them usually a couple days.
But like, what are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're voting for somebody as like, because it's not like the whole country or nothing. It's like that group of people. So like, do people just go up on a stand and talk, or like what even? Like, how does that even work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know there was. How long has the Pope been the Pope? You know, it's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
Longer than I thought. You know, yeah, you could Google it. I don't even know his name, but
God,
it was like Francis.
Whatever.
2013 from March
12 years.
What?
Yeah, 12 years.
Approximately 4,569 days. That's
but yeah, I mean, this is kind of weird because the people who are electing the new Pope, people under 80. So I guess it's the ones that are under 80 that go to that.
I do know about that. Is like if they're in there, they're stuck in there. Like they can't leave.
until they find whatever Pope they want.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like one of those things where it's, you know, you're stuck in the building, or is it like you have to be like you have individual rooms and you're stuck in that building, or how does that work?
Oh wow, there's 133 of them.
Jesus.
That vote?
That is will vote until they select the next leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. Oh my!
That is actually kind of crazy, and they couldn't decide after the first day. Probably because they have 133 people they got to go through.
At least it's not even numbers, you know, because what happens?
Yeah, so no matter what, somebody will win.
But I wonder
unless you just get like something random happening.
I'm curious. What is the longest amount of time it took them to choose a pope? Like, could you imagine if it was like 4 years? What happens in those 4 years? 1,000 days?
The 13th century. 3 years. It took them 3 years.
I mean, it was in 13th.
What was that? The 1200s? That was the 1200s.
Pope Clement. Since 1831.
There you go. Since 1900. It took 5 days.
5
Pope days. Francis took 2 days. So theoretically, tomorrow,
roughly,
we should figure out who the new Pope is going to be. Yeah, unless they go past.
Which, I mean, it's possible. I don't know what. No one really knows. Oh, it goes deep.
These are ones before 1900. Yeah, 1740. 182 days it took them.
How do you know this stuff? Like, how is there someone passing this shit down or what? I'm so confused.
Well, what is this? Where do they go? It's Vatican City, right?
Yes, pretty sure.
Somewhere, wherever they vote. I know there's like a closed off library that has a bunch of things that like the world has never read before. So I wonder if there's like some crazy stuff being wrote in those books that no one knows about.
Besides, you know, the people that are in that building, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way like the actual Pope doesn't have access to it, right? There's just no way.
Surely the Pope should be able to do whatever he wants in that building.
I mean,
If he wants to go in that library, I think he should be able to go in that library. That's what I would think anyway.
Yeah,
but
if not, that'd be crazy.
That would be kind of crazy. Not even the Pope can go there, and it's in his building.
That would be
But yeah,
that'd be interesting.
I
mean, it's kind of.
I don't know. I don't really know like all of the
like rules and all that they have to follow. I mean, I don't know either.
Yeah.
2013, I would have been what, like 12, 11?
Yeah, I would have been 9. So
I mean, I don't know.
Been like most of my life.
Yeah. Who knows? I
mean,
it's one of those things that's kind of interesting, but like, it just goes on forever. Like if you're on Spotify,
which this is kind of crazy because you have all these old people that are going here to vote, and if they're too sick to even write who they want to pick, they have to pick somebody to write for them, which is kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Because it makes you think, like, what if they're not in the right state of mind to select one?
Yeah, or get confused of the name and write the wrong name.
They accidentally picked the wrong one. Yeah.
That would be
I don't know. I think it's cool that they fly from all over the world to go there every time they need to vote for another one. I think that's kind of cool because that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world, I don't think.
I didn't even know I thought they were all located there.
That too. I mean, I thought they all have their own place in Vatican City that they get to go to.
I didn't know they were all over the place. I mean, that's kind of not a bad thing necessarily, but
yeah, because in the circumstance that some major event happens in one place, not all of them like die if something happens.
Yeah, I mean that would be kind of bad. Not gonna lie, but I wonder how they.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
I wonder how they like I don't know. Like I'm not gonna get like religious or anything because I know some people don't like that. But like, how do you decide who is part of this group that votes for the Pope? Like, is it based off religion or is it based off like, you gotta like put an application in, some like what is that even like? How do you even access that? Because it's definitely one of those things that obviously I don't live anywhere near this, and I've never really read anything about it, but I don't know.
So they're looking for how well that person can unite the church and address crucial issues.
So like anyone could, not anyone.
It's kind of like president, right?
Kind of. So
it's kind of like president.
Anyone can kind of just go up there and like in a way apply to be one.
Yeah. Age and experience are factors, with the candidate being between 60 and 70 years old, often considered ideal for a 10 to 12 year term. That is kind of crazy.
10 to 12 years is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a long time. That's a decade.
Yeah. I mean, previous Pope was in there for like 12 or 13 years, right? Yeah, because 2013.
It was 13.
Yeah.
Or it was 12 years. 12 or 13 years, one of the two.
So, I mean, kind of seems accurate. It's just weird, though, how they have 10 to 12 years, and he lasted 12 to 13 years. I don't know.
I wonder if you can go over 12 years, though.
Yeah.
Like, is it a rule that you have 12 years and that's as far as you can go? Or is like, can you go over? They're just saying that most popes usually reign 10 to 12 years.
Maybe most just tend to. Maybe it's because based off age.
Yeah, half of them end up passing away just before they get past 12. Yeah,
that could be just like, I don't know. That's just it is kind of interesting, but I mean, I don't know much about conclave or the Pope stuff. Yeah. I really do.
I don't know a lot about Catholic religion in general, so I don't know. I know this is a really like a huge thing for them, but I don't know the inside scoop of it pretty much.
Yeah, because you could probably find a big long essay of like what exactly goes down from the first minute to the next pope, but we will not be reading all of that.
Yeah, because we have a lot of topics we got to get through, and we don't have like an infinite time slot to do it. You know?
When we're sitting here for 5 hours reading about it, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly could do that. We could literally do that if we wanted to.
If you really want us to sit down and read like Moby Dick or something in a podcast, just let us know. We'll do it. Don't test us. We'll do it.
I mean, it might it'd be a long podcast episode.
It would be a long. You know, just reading like Game of Thrones, all the books, one sitting.
I mean that's like 7,000 pages right there.
That's a couple hours easily. Even if you read really, 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 really fast, it would.
Yeah, like even skimming through the books, it'd still take you at least 3 hours, I'd say.
Like that is, there's probably something out there like that people have done. I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. I see it on TikTok all the time. People be reading bed night stories, and you just pop them in there.
Yeah, and they I guess it really takes away from it being a podcast and more of it just having a story time.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, that is kind of what the podcast is about. It's more of like updating people and stuff, and kind of just posting our opinions about stuff. So I don't think we'll ever read a book, but we'll make a third channel if you want us to read books.
Yeah, I mean, we can make as many channels as we need to.
We have to have 15 just for, someone wants this, I got you. We'll read, books to you. You want a puppet show one? We got you. Just let us know,
Yeah.
We'll make it work somehow. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I mean, that's about all I have for this topic.
Also, we don't know much about it, but
yeah, I'm not very. I mean, we're kind of learning as we go. But this is something that I didn't even know was going on right now. But
yeah, told me about this. Was it yesterday? You told me about
this? I think it was yesterday that I told you about it because I found out about it yesterday and I was like, "What the heck? Why have I not heard about this?" I
haven't been on Twitter in the last 4 days, so I'm out of the loop of a lot.
Yeah, most of the news I get is from Twitter, so usually if I don't see it on Twitter, then I don't really know that it's kind of going on.
I will say that I am more than likely about 100% sure that this is true because it is the Washington Post, and I don't know.
I've seen a lot of different.
Be true.
Yeah, I've also seen a lot of different news things talking about this. Like now that I know about it, and I looked it up. But before yesterday, before I seen this, I low-key didn't know this was happening. I know things are kind of tense over there right now, but I didn't know that they were just going out of their way to just strike people or strike countries.
So if I'm just gonna say this, if you're on YouTube, yes, you can call us dumb because it literally says updated May 6th of 2025. We're trying to figure out when this was posted.
Yeah, I mean,
we're dumb. Okay, bear with us. We got 2 brain cells between both of us. Okay.
I mean, we're young people. We don't sit down and we don't watch the news all the time.
I don't think I've ever watched the news.
I've watched very little of the news.
Yeah, I would walk through the room someone's watching it, or go to a grandparent's house and it's playing. But no, I don't really look at the news.
That's when I see the news. But I didn't know that this was going on, and apparently, I mean, I think Washington Post is a little bit behind, but apparently India has declared war on Pakistan, and I don't really know.
Wait,
kind of the backstory.
9 sites? Oh my! They hit 9 sites with missiles.
Yeah. That's what that says.
India attacked Pakistan, flattened 9 sites, which obviously they're probably not going to tell you the size of these 9 sites. So it could be, a little bitty village.
The only thing that we know is, the only thing that we know is, the quote unquote terrorists were in these sites, and that was their purpose in striking them.
But I wonder what they mean by the word terrorist? Are they saying it was for, like, don't know if you can say it on this, on YouTube. Probably more than likely beep it out. But, like, is it like ISIS level, or is this like just kind of like nearby small little groups?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't specify what exactly kind they were, which both are bad. But, like, if it's getting posted all over the place, how extreme is it really that they had to send missiles over there?
I mean, with all that this is happening, I mean, I'm not going to say it was like a great thing because you don't want anybody to be bombed,
No.
But I will say that I think it's a good thing on India's part that they stated that they didn't target any military facilities, and their only like goal was to take out the terrorist sites.
And
Because if those terrorists have been like plotting and doing things in India, then that's like good for them,
Yeah, like they had their reasons. Again,
yeah.
I mean, is it a good thing? Not necessarily. But if it is your homeland, I mean, I guess you got to defend it. At a certain point. There's nothing else
I guess
you can do about it.
from a government standpoint,
it was
you can't just let them.
Yeah, it was the right
you
thing
just
to
can't
do
just let them kill your people and stuff, But yeah, I didn't know this was going on.
Did you also see that it said that they haven't been in conflict for only 6 years? It says it right there. Putting the nuclear armed neighbors in direct conflict.
So this is kind of they got a history with each other.
Apparently, they got beef. Beef.
I mean, I don't know how big this is, so I don't know if like it's something that everybody has to be worried about right now, because like things like this happen all the time.
Is India part of NATO? I don't even know. I just don't know. I mean, they could either be.
I think I would say they are. Oh, they're not. They're actually not.
Interesting.
I guess it's. I don't know.
Oh, I can't say the word. Relationship, including the framework of enhanced cooperation. Signed in 2021. India is not a member of the alliance, so it's like,
I guess it's because NATO is more of North American and European countries compared to I guess India is considered in Asia.
So India and US and pretty much NATO itself is just kind of, they're like, we're good. But like, if one or the other gets attacked, the other one's not going to help that other person. Probably.
We're not going to go get mixed in India's affairs.
Wait, you see that?
Where?
That 2 Indian aircraft had been shot down by Pakistan soon after ASIF told Geo News that 5 Indian warplanes had been downed, including French-made Rafales. That the claims could not be independently verified, and the Indian government had no immediate response. 24 impacts. Pakistan's military reported 24 impacts in quotation marks across 6 locations. I'm really not going to try pronouncing any of those locations.
Yeah. Just a couple different locations in Pakistan. Let's see.
Lord. We'll find out the truth about how many died as the morning comes. India's military response against Pakistan is the most significant since the 1971 war fought between the two countries.
Okay. So this is like...
They actually give you a lot of information. I was not expecting this much information about it.
This is a lot of information. We could go through this for hours if we really wanted to about why.
There is just a bunch of information about this. But it's kind of insane.
Their conflict is on where they think the border should be. Maybe I think that's what
that's probably what the conflict was maybe 6 years ago, and then they just sent missiles over for terrorist groups, and then
You know what we can do? We could try this.
Because, I mean, that may be the reason. Stems from a complex history primarily revolving around the dispute over Kashmir and the legacy of the 1947.
So they are arguing over like what the border should be for the region.
See, this
Pakistan
is my
wants
thing,
more,
right?
India wants more. They don't want to give up some of their stuff, you know.
You can't say this specific country by name on YouTube. They will remove the video. So we'll just say it's a little close to Germany. It's, you know, a little bit above China. I don't know if you can say that either, to be honest. It's, you know, it dealt with Ukraine and, you know, has that guy.
Oh,
and,
the country that starts with an R.
Yeah, that country right there.
People will know what we're talking about.
Oh, easily. It's kind of sounding like it's that all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's like, what I'm getting.
It's like, dude, it's really not that serious. It's what would you get? Like a little bit more land, and then
because
you have to
honestly, what they're arguing about, like India wants all of this, Pakistan wants all of this. So the border is kind of in the middle already.
So why don't you just flip flop it? You just give them that, and then you take the other. I don't know. Maybe I'd be a bad politician. I have no idea. It's just like, I understand you want the land and all that, but it's like, why? Like, honestly, why? Yeah. There's what would you even do with that? You know, especially with the people that live there already.
Based on what they want, or like what each country wants as land, the border is already kind of in the middle of that. So, really, why are you arguing?
Like, literally, it's at this point, if you're
we want 40, they want 40. Okay, let's cut it down the middle, 20. Boom.
Yeah,
like that's pretty much what this border already is.
Or someone else just go occupy it and be like, you know what? Whenever y'all are done, then we can, you know, come to agreement who gets what part of this land. Like, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know, there's a chance of losing people from this land debate for a war that just didn't need to be there anyway. And it's just, I don't know.
I guess it depends on. I mean, I don't know how much they want to escalate this, because, I mean, right now they're only going after known terrorist sites, but you know, all it takes is one accidental strike on a military base, and then boom,
coordinate messed up, and then
all hell breaks loose.
Literally, all hell breaks
loose. Then you're throwing missiles at each other, and I'm pretty sure both of these countries have nuclear warheads. So I mean,
so yes, but it's
I doubt they would go that far. Over something like this.
Who knows? I mean, let's be honest. A giant rock from space needs to just hit us right now. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they would ever. I think some other country would step in and be like, "Okay, we need to chill out."
Yeah, act like grown-ups, okay? Act like full-grown adults in this situation, and do it the smart way and not the dumb way.
You know, they could also just randomly just hit the red button and boom, and just not even care.
I mean, they could. I mean, that is the scary thing about, and I think Albert Einstein talked about it, is the Third World War would pretty much destroy the planet.
Yeah.
Kind of sad to see, though.
I think that he was saying that, though, because he was there when the atom bomb was built, and he knew that once they had built the first one, they was just going to mass produce pretty much.
Yeah, and
so
that is the
scary thing. If a full-scale world war breaks out, I wouldn't be surprised if people were throwing nukes around.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, all it takes is one person to get really mad, and it's over.
Just takes one person to get tired with the other country, and then boom, it could all go out the window.
Yeah, just breaking glass upon glass. It's just done with.
But you know, nuclear warfare is a perfect way to bring us into our next talking point. And this is crazy because this I didn't know even happened either until I seen it.
Now this
but
is my
a Bush
thought
official
on it, right?
claims a U.S. built secret $21 trillion underground city for rich and powerful people to live if a doomsday level event would occur.
And this is my thing, right? Is yes, I understand, right? If it costs money for you to get a ticket in this, or you buy this ticket and your family from generations now can still use that ticket, okay. But when you hog it for yourself, there is a level of brainwash, I would say.
Like this is the greed they talk about in the Bible,
literally. Like it's the fact that you're that greedy that you spent trillions of dollars, but of citizen money, of tax money probably, that people are giving you thinking it's gonna, go into for my county or my state.
That's what I also am confused about, because to my knowledge she didn't say a whole lot about this. But I wonder if it was tax dollars or it was like, I don't know, so you got 500 people who have a net worth of over $1 million, like throw money in a pot.
Oh yeah, like I said, a collective unit. You made this.
Yeah, like donations, kind of. And
which would make sense.
That's what they were going for.
But if they
didn't, that could have been the case. Yeah, if they were using tax dollars, that's actually kind of crazy.
Because my thought on it, and maybe it's because maybe I've watched too many movies. Maybe it's just the thought. I don't know. The thing that always gets me, and also movies, there's probably a few movies out there, is...
we just answered a question right here. It was taxpayer dollars.
Oh, wow. So it's taxpayer dollars, so I'm giving you my money that I legally have to, or I go to prison for pretty much life, and...
Yeah.
You're, like... I'm pretty sure movies might have covered it. I have no idea. But you're telling me that you are a world leader. You're going to go in this bunker. We're all going to disappear because, well, nukes. And then you're going to resurface and you're going to have no one to not rule, but, be the leader for.
Yeah. I wonder in the circumstance that something like this does happen and they use this bunker. What's going to happen when they come back up? Because if the president is for some reason not in this bunker, I'm sure he would be, but then just in case that he's not, people's just going to be fighting like over who says who,
Yeah, literally, and I just
who gets the final say.
I just think that it's a waste of time, money, and resources to build this. I'm actually more concerned of how it stayed this quiet for this long.
That was the thing about that I was thinking about.
Yeah, like
how do you build something this big with this much money and no one has ever randomly stumbled across it? Or
it was being built for 17 years.
Yeah,
and no one knew anything about it until this year.
What is that? When Obama left office?
I thought he left. No, he left. Yeah, because Obama left 2016. Trump was in office 2016.
Started, then Biden, then Trump.
Biden, then Trump. Yeah. So it'd been about the time
Obama was getting ready to leave office.
Yes.
And Trump was getting ready to start. So
it is definitely interesting.
I mean, obviously they're not. Oh wait, they did name drop. Did they? Oh, they did. They name dropped her. 170 bunkers has been built across the country since 1998. Some resting even beneath oceans.
How do you not see that? Off the US
So I guess there's some in every state then.
That is
$21 million in taxpayer dollars. I mean,
that's a lot of money.
She doesn't give you any evidence, but a report from
what is the U.S. debt right now?
MSU economists indicated that much unauthorized spending had been uncovered. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much U.S. debt there is.
Because
that's not what I wanted to do.
If it's, let's see,
national debt
36
trillion.
So they could use that 21. We'd be down to like what, 14 trillion?
Yeah, 14-ish.
Oh my gosh. I forgot this page exists. If you're on Spotify, I know you can't see. If you're on YouTube, you can see these numbers. It is.
I mean, I'm surprised that this page is even running like smooth.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised it's not.
Like I figured like some of these would be skipping. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of numbers.
I mean, there's so many clocks moving, and these are big numbers too.
Interest on debt, $1 trillion.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, like this is crazy.
It is
30. Well, I mean, we're closing in on $37 trillion of debt.
Which I don't even know how that happens. Because like,
I don't know.
What are we spending money on?
Even if we don't have that money or like the money to spend it, where are we getting the money from?
That's literally like it just always confuses.
Like how do we get $37 trillion in debt? And like how did we get that? like where are we borrowing the money from that we're in debt to?
Literally, it's just rising more and more and more and more every second. Apparently, it's just never ending.
Kind of yeah, this is crazy to me because the fact that no one's just randomly stumbled across this, like they did with Area 51 back in the day.
You know, I still think we shouldn't have tried raiding that place because after that happened, everything went straight downhill.
Yep, 2016 was the last good year.
Yeah, 2016 was the last good year. Good old times. Now this one is another reason why we need a giant bunker.
I mean, if you watched any zombie show in existence, you would know why this is scary.
And we most likely don't have to show what it does. I did do a little research on it. It does attack the brain. Now, if you are a person, which most people do, but if you're a person that knows about The Last of Us, if you know about the cordyceps, it overtakes the brain. This one's a little bit different because it impacts humans, livestock, plants. Why do they put a comma? Livestock and plants, and then a comma. The researchers wrote. But either way, I mean,
I guess it's a good thing that it kind of only thrives in warm, damp climates.
So I'll just say this:
which around here where we live,
if you're in the south,
around here where we live, it gets cold and super cold in the winter, warm in the summer. You know, it's not going to be here year round. Is an
understatement.
It gets pretty toasty.
Oh my gosh!
So
this one's a fungal mode that thrives in warm. So it's a see, that's what confused me. A fungal mode. Is it a mold or is it a fungus? You know, I need to know. I need these.
Yeah, I mean, 2100. There's probably a high chance we're just going to be dead by then.
I'm going to be dead 1000% by then. I'd be 99.
Researchers are saying that it can how often you see it is increased by 77% by 2100. So, I mean,
the study indicates, what did I say? The study indicates that some global climate change scenarios will result in changes of habitable, whatever, ranges. Oh, that's habitat. Ranges for certain lung and systemic fungal infections.
I mean, if we have any Zoomers listening, this is probably going to affect you more than it will us.
Yeah, if you're in like I would say kind of early 20s, maybe late teens and above, this ain't gonna affect you.
Yeah,
because it's just.
I mean,
by the time it gets
unless something goes haywire, and like it just starts ramping up, then people in your late teens, early 20s, mid 20s. This will happen in our lifetime.
And they always say this potential risk of infection for most healthy people. You know, these spores won't cause any adverse effects. The experts noted. So I mean, if you're, oh Lord, what is that image? Is kind of
I think
crazy.
that's it under like a microscope. Maybe I don't know what's going on here.
It's like it looks like those dishes you do in biology for like bacteria.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of. So I don't know. If you're young and you're, you know,
Actually
you're in
have a
the
picture
South,
of
you'll
what
be
it
fine.
looks like, and it kind of reminds me of a weird looking moss.
I was gonna say it looked like confused broccoli, but I mean that works too.
I mean, yeah, it does kind of look like little stemming broccoli at the
It
end, you
kind of
know?
looks like
Little
it.
broccoli trees.
If you know what the cordyceps looks like, imagine that, but on each tippity top is green. If you're on Spotify, since you can't see it, or you can just look it up. It's, how do you spell it? Aspergillus.
S, yeah.
So if you want to see what it looks like, it literally looks like the cordyceps with just a green nubbin thing on the top. Best way to describe it. But I mean, do I see this being a, don't know if you can, the C word, don't know if you can say it on YouTube, from
Oh,
2020?
yeah.
I don't see it
The
being that.
pandemic we just had. I don't think so.
I don't think
Because
it'd be that bad.
surely, like, by the time that this like starts running rampant, I'm sure things will already have been so advanced that we would be able to deal with it pretty easily.
Oh, here you go. This one's a good one. Depending on the species, they can grow in a variety of places, including walls, ceilings, crawl spaces, subflooring, HVAC systems, which is AC, if you do not know, and more.
Yeah.
Its spores are generally dispersed through the air and can impact individuals with compromised immune systems.
So if you're recovering from like pneumonia or maybe you've had like
Oh my God.
cancer of some
I am so
spores.
sorry to interrupt you. Look at that third paragraph on the left side. That
Oh, you're
is
talking
the
about this?
worst name. If you're on Spotify, I'm not even gonna spell it out for you. It starts with an end, ends in an R. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, 1G.
It's exactly what you're thinking of, except it's missing a G.
Yeah, it's that was the
But,
worst thing they could have put at the end of that.
yeah, that's a terrible scientific name for this.
That is a terrible. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did it on purpose.
You know.
But yeah. Oh, look. Yeah, it
But
says right here: heart disease, rheumatic disease, asthma, sinusitis. I don't know. Cancer, memory loss, vision loss, chronic fatigue, skin rashes, depression, ADHD, anxiety, liver damage, and more. Exposure to the mode and
crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy that
that's
it
what it can
even
do to you.
even if yeah, it
you
can
get in
give you
contact.
depression is crazy.
And the fact it also can make cancer up here is insane.
If you notice a distinct, and this is important for you guys, and I don't know where, it doesn't say where this usually like where they grow at, so I guess it's just selective on where you are. But it says if you notice a distinctive, heavy, musty odor, and that is a sign of mold growth somewhere in your house, which requires a professional mold inspection. Sometimes the odor is not always present. That is why in any case where water infiltrates the building, it is important to act right away. So usually, I mean, most people already know that if you have like a flood or maybe toilet overflowing or bathtub overflowing, you usually want to check the walls for mold after you clean up the water and the water is gone, because that's pretty much how mold grows.
It has to have
inside
water.
the house.
So
I mean, it's kind of like any other mold, really, that you could get in the house. You don't want to be exposed to it. Obviously, you don't want to breathe it in. But yeah, it's just different this time because it might grow into something bigger than what normal molds do.
I will say it says prolonged exposure can lead to these health symptoms.
Scroll down.
Now I'll say this, okay? Just because it has trouble sleeping on there does not mean you have it. All right, this is not Google. All right, don't Google your symptoms. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't something you should freak out about if you have just a few of these, because any sickness you get could give you these, honestly.
So you have headaches, trouble sleeping, itching, rashes, fatigue, sneezing, and coughing.
Asthmatic symptoms.
Yeah. can
So
grow
trouble
into human
breathing.
tissue. Those with weakened immune systems are susceptible to this growth, which can be fatal. So again, if you have
So
any of
mostly
those,
older people.
yeah,
Maybe if you have some condition that you were maybe born with or grew up having, and it gives you a, a weakened immune system, and your immune system just isn't strong, you get sick all the time, then you're more susceptible to get it compared to somebody who
more
has a
me.
stronger immune system. Yeah, literally.
So yeah, if you have a rash pretty much pop up that you've never seen in your life, probably go get it checked out. But if you
Yeah,
have trouble
but I would
sleeping,
honestly probably do that anyway.
yeah, I feel like
If you get
most
a
people have
rash that
trouble
you have no
sleeping.
idea,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I even have trouble sleeping sometimes. I get
and
headaches
and the
sometimes. I
sneezing
itch.
and coughing. I mean, sneezing right now, the pollen's up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just bound to happen. Coughing could
Some
just
some people sneeze after you cut the grass. I know I do sometimes.
so. I mean, just because you're sneezing all that, don't act like this is Google. Okay,
Yeah.
this
Just because
it's
you have these symptoms doesn't mean you've been infected with this fungus.
yeah. Like you're gonna get day to day headaches. You're gonna sometimes you just won't
Yeah.
be able to sleep. Places are gonna itch because mosquito bite, whatever, rashes. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen this rash before and you know you don't normally get them, go get it checked out. Fatigue,
Yeah.
everyone has bad days, and sneezing and coughing, it's going into summer, so pollen's still going up and down and trying to decide what it wants to do. So that's just gonna happen. So don't freak out if you have
I
one of
would
those.
say I would say if you have any asthmatic symptoms and you don't have asthma, then maybe that's a pretty fair sign that you should probably go get checked out just in case, just to make sure it's not nothing crazy.
Could just be a,
But
you know, you just have a cold. You know, you never know.
yeah, you could just have a bad head cold.
It does
Sometimes that
happen.
happens. Sometimes that happens. I have trouble breathing sometimes whenever I get a cold or the flu.
The worst is when your nose
So
gets plugged up.
yeah, and then you can't breathe out your mouth, can't breathe out your nose, can't breathe out anywhere.
You're just
You just kind of have
struggling.
to deal with it. But I guess we probably could have talked about this earlier when we were talking about India and Pakistan. But
Could have, but no going back now,
an
right?
Israeli is yeah, sorry, it's already been recorded. We've
Yeah.
already talked about it. Israeli minister says Gaza is going to be completely destroyed. So I know this is something that's been going on for a while now, but
And obviously,
now
we're
it
not
seems like
gonna.
they're
Some people are gonna say, I choose this group out of this group, or blah blah blah
yeah
blah. We're not gonna say which one
we
we're
we
for or
don't
whatever. We don't. I don't
yeah
really know much
we're
about
not
it.
going to say if we're for Palestine or against Palestine or for Gaza, if we're not for Gaza, if we're for Israel, or if we're not. We're just we're not biased to anybody, but we read the news and we talk about it. That's pretty much it.
That's all we're doing. We're not. Some stuff we
Yeah,
will post our opinion about, like underground bunkers that was under
yeah.
our nose quite literally the whole
Things
time.
that aren't too strong into politics that might have
Offend
people. Yeah,
some, because either
we're
way
not
you
here to offend
win,
anybody.
yeah,
We're
either
just
way
here
you
to
go, someone's gonna be offended by it. And that's
yeah
not the goal of this
yeah.
channel and the
We
podcast and
just
all
want
that.
to inform people, inform you, make you laugh, maybe that those kind of things. We're not here to make you feel bad for anything if you follow somebody or if you don't follow somebody, or we're not here to take a political stance on anything.
We all bleed red here. We all bleed red.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to say it right there.
We all bleed red.
But I know this is something that's been going on for a while now, but it seems like that they're kind of ramping up on it maybe, and I mean, saying something's going to be entirely destroyed and essentially flattened. I mean, that's like those are fighting words.
Yeah, that's not like let's go play pickleball and then you go play baseball. That's like life
Yeah,
threatening.
that's not saying like, oh, we might need to be worried about that just in case it escalates. This is like, okay, we're gonna do some real damage here. Now you need to get worried.
That's not necessarily a
But
good thing because
no,
one if it does happen, it could cause another. butterfly effect, and then it gets even 10 times worse. You just
another
don't know
country
what
gets involved, and a different country doesn't agree that they should get involved, and then those two countries end up fighting, and it could just domino and snowball into something way bigger.
Snowball effect, and it could end very badly for literally everyone on this floating rock and endless nothingness. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I mean, could be all just talk and no bite. Could be
could be just for show to scare people, or he could be for real and he really wants to do this. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't read too much into this, so I don't know like how they're going to respond to this. But I mean, I am reading that they want to move the civilians to a different place without any terrorism.
The south to a humanitarian zone without Hamas or terrorism.
From there, they will start to leave in great numbers to third countries. So at least they're trying to
evacuate.
At least they're trying to evacuate the innocent people, and not just kill a bunch of innocent people just like for fun, pretty much.
Yeah, because there's been another person that did that during a world war, and that not in
to prevent the G word. You can see it on screen if you're on Spotify and you can't see that word. Just know this happened in World War II. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah. If you don't know anything about World War II, depending on your age, don't look it up. Wait until you get to that class, because I don't know what Google's going to tell you about that, and I'd rather you not try figuring it out on your own, because it can get very intense if you actually go too deep into the searching of that.
Yeah. If you just want to know what we're talking about, just look up what happened to the Jewish community in World War II, and then that'll tell you what we're talking about here.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you cannot say that word on YouTube. Probably not on Spotify, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident you can't say that word.
I guess I can also say if there's any words that are randomly like beeped out, it's because YouTube hit us with a community guideline thing. So if they are beeped out, that is the reason why. So, if
there's any words we can't say, I'll try to highlight it on the screen so you can see the word and know which word we're saying.
And if YouTube still hits it with something, it's just going to be blacked out. So if you are seeing this blacked out, that's because YouTube is like, can't put that on there. So
yeah.
Just in case.
But yeah, I know this has been going on for a while, but at least they're trying to get some civilians out and not just flatten the whole place with the civilians in it.
Which could be really, really bad.
Yeah.
Innocent people I'm sure in a war is not something you should mess around with.
Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to be at all. And I'm sure other leaders of other countries don't want that to happen either. So,
hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about all I know for this.
I don't know much about it either.
I mean, we could go through this entire article if we wanted to, but
the article is pretty detailed and pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty long, so we're just not gonna deep dive into this article. We read this and we skim through it, and then we talk about it and to inform people, kind of give our opinion here and there.
It'd be a cool thing if this podcast would be like your way of finding out news without having to download something to figure it out, and you can actually interact with us in the comments or interact with other people, all that. That would be the goal.
Which we're just starting out, but maybe we'll get to the point where we make podcasts 4 or 5 times a week, depending on what kind of news comes out. If there's like big news comes out, we turn the camera on and we record. But
that would be the goal. But It is also on you guys. If you subscribe, or if you're on Spotify and you come over to YouTube, we're the same name on YouTube. It's just the Ramble Room. Same little profile picture and everything. Subscribe, and hopefully we can get to that point. But I feel like this is definitely different, where it's not the same as, it's not a copy and paste, which is kind of nice, because if you go look at podcasts, if you look at the word podcast, it's everyone sitting at a table or on a couch, and it's a camera pointing at them and they're talking to someone. That's every podcast is.
It's kind of something different, and maybe people will like it, maybe they won't like it,
Yeah,
it's just,
we don't know. We just gotta try. People may.
You never know until you try it. That's what we say.
This one I did not hear about until you also told me.
Yeah, I didn't know about this at all.
11 alleged teen trend. I'm not gonna try pronouncing that.
I don't even know if we could say that word.
Probably not. So gang members attacked NYPD officers.
And we're obviously not going to show this video.
Yeah, we're not going to show the video. It's just going to be a black box for y'all if we did.
Yeah.
This one, youngest suspect in the attack is 12 years old. What is this? Which is on?
Yeah, 12-year-olds.
You know what I was doing at 12?
What were you doing at 12 years old?
Trying to figure out how big I can make a pile of mud into a patty. I'm like 12 years old. Like,
yeah, I mean, what was I even doing at 12? What year was that? 2016? I was playing Fortnite, though. I was playing Fortnite and Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing at 12 years old. Now kids at 12-year-old are in gangs and doing attacks on police officers.
That is... There should be a... I don't know. I just wish the young brains were like always innocent, and just it was impossible to drag them into anything. Because when I was 12, I was running around. I was drinking water out the hose. I was running around in a sprinkler. I was, we
were living life.
And now it's like, after the pandemic, it's like everything, like people's brains just went so far out that it's just not, it's just so different. Maybe,
I mean, that's something to do with like the media and stuff.
It could be because of, TikTok. You don't know. It could, maybe it's also more information is getting covered because of more social media outlets. So, like, maybe this stuff was happening when I was 12 years old, but, I didn't know. I didn't have a phone. So...
yeah, exactly.
I do not know what is going on with... Like, if you're, 12, 13, 14, and you're listening to this, go enjoy life. Honey, run around. Break some bones. Like, have fun. Just make sure it's not illegal. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, this is crazy. I mean, these guys probably aren't even adults yet. Like, their life hasn't even, like, their life is virtually just now starting.
I know they're not adults. Again, if you're on Spotify, you can't see this. But if you notice, all the faces are blurred. The only time they ever do that is if they're not 18 years old. So all of these kids, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why they say there was 11? Well, I think there's someone passing by. But there's 12 faces covered up, it looks like. Oh, I might have counted that guy twice.
There's one on the right.
So
maybe
on the left of me. Maybe he's there was 12. Someone walking by, or it's actually a person that was part of this. And you're telling me 12 of these people are in this photo, and they're all below the age of 18 because their faces are blurred. And that is insane to me. When I was 12, I was more concerned about what was I going to wear to school.
Yeah, what was for lunch tomorrow?
What was for lunch? Mom, what we having for dinner tonight when I get home from school?
No, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Are we having like lasagna, or are we having tacos?
we having spaghetti?
Like
Like,
what?
what we having?
Yeah,
Like, this
and
is
then that would determine
insane.
how my day went. Is what we were having for dinner.
Yeah,
Are we
what
gonna have meatloaf when
cartoons?
I come home?
What
Or
cartoons am I watching when I get home from school? Like, that was my day to day when I
yeah,
was a kid. And
yeah.
then now it's like, dude, this is insane. 10 to 12 individuals beginning to surround 3 others, she said. I'm going to read the full thing. Last week, we saw a troubling incident in the heart of Times Square where NYPD officers came under attack on Friday at approximately 7:30 p.m. Cops assigned to foot post in the area of 42nd Street and 8th Avenue, and just a block away from a highly anticipated boxing match, noticed about 10 to 12 individuals beginning to surround 3 others, she said. The officers engaged the group and attempted to break up what appeared to be a Wolfpack style robbery. Instead, they were ambushed, and then it's bracketed, and pelted with scooters, basketballs, and other makeshift weapons. She continued, this was a targeted attack, planned, deliberate, and carried out with intent. It will not be tolerated. Luckily, our officers are okay, and the investigation that followed was fast, effective, and focused. So have they caught them?
Well, let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Identified a subset
Yeah, other
of
detectives
them.
got right to work and within hours identify members of a violent group known as, probably not going to say the name just in case.
Oh, so they're kind of like an offspring of the big one.
Oh, she said several of them are listed in our gang database, and that's one of the reasons we caught many of them so quickly. That
Wow, 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 wow.
interesting. I definitely think,
That I mean, they're just so young, man.
and they
Like,
threw their life away.
yeah, literally,
Like I've never
literally.
been to New York. I don't know how New York's judicial system really is. I don't know if they're like,
Yeah,
it depends on what you do. You're instantly trialed as an adult. But if they got trialed as an adult for attacking a peace officer, then you're gonna be a felon. Like you're a felon at that point. That attacking anyone that's a
yeah.
peace officer, anything in government branches and all that, you're instantly a felon. That's an
I mean,
felony offense.
police officers are like the symbol of safety
Yeah.
for wherever you are, and literally, like you're just going out of your way to attack them for essentially no reason, just to do it to prove a point.
Is that a? Can you look that up? It said the 16-year-old whose name has not been released because he's a minor is charged with second degree obstructing governmental administration. Is that a felony?
Let's see.
Um.
Okay, well, you'll have to blur this out for me.
Yes, I will have to blur that out for you. Yes, I will.
In New York, it's
You
considered a Class A misdemeanor.
okay? So not a. Oh, look at this one. For instance, in the obstruction involves a telecommunications system or uses a self-defense spray, it can be elevated to a Class E or D felony.
Yeah. So it's considered a misdemeanor, but it can be upgraded to a felony depending on what you do.
And depending on what that 16-year-old did, it could be upgraded. And then you had a riot and third degree menacing. So I mean, oh look at that. That 17-year-old faces more serious charges, including attempted assault on a peace officer, police officer, fireman, or emergency medical services professional, second degree reckless endangerment, second degree obstructing governmental administration, second degree riot, and fourth degree criminal possession of a weapon. Threw their life
Yeah.
away. You know,
Like they don't have a future anymore.
oh no. Especially if the names get released, because uh, depends on the state. Some will release them, the names, when they turn 18. Some will never release the name.
Yeah.
So it's likely I don't know how New York is, but it also being a known gang, it probably will stick with even more charges. They'll figure something out, and you'll see something that they've done and you'll know that you have to charge them with that because there's no way around it. And then there you go.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But yeah, I mean, makes me sad for these kids because they're so young and now their lives are just nothing now. Well, not just nothing. I don't want to say that. That's kind of mean, but their future's gone.
Yeah, it's destroyed. There is no more future for them, more than likely. Which sucks, but I mean, you made your bed, you have to lay in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how the old saying goes, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And this is the prize that you get for doing what you did.
That's exactly the best way to put it. Because it's...
But yeah.
But 16 and 17, and youngest being 12 is absurd.
I mean, it's also probably because they grow up in that environment, right?
Yeah, so it's not fully on the kid. I will say that. I mean, it is on parents to... Like, a 12-year-old should not be in a gang. Matter of fact, no one should be in a gang, but definitely not a 12-year-old, okay? No minor should ever be in a gang.
Especially that young.
12 years old in a gang is like, that isn't on the kid at that point. That is 100% on parents.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to make a joke, but I'm not.
Can you not say it?
I think it's not a bad joke. I was gonna say, something about those kids in this place. I was gonna be like, this is, they're gonna be the first people here as a joke, but probably would have been a little too much, so I won't fully make the joke. This one,
but I mean, it needs some upgrades. I will say, the Alcatraz needs some upgrades.
When did it even shut down? Do they tell you on here?
Let's see. I'm kind of just skimming through it and see.
But
Alcatraz closed a federal penitentiary more than 60 years ago.
So Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz.
Yes.
See, this is the thing.
To house America's most ruthless and violent criminals, which I think that's. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a good thing, but it's obviously not a bad thing either.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, not a bad thing, but it's also one of those things.
It's a prison on an island.
Yeah, if you... there's no way most people don't, unless you're really young. If you've never seen Alcatraz, if you have played Call of Duty Zombies, there is a whole map based on this location.
Yeah.
So
it's a prison on an island.
In the middle of an ocean.
Pretty much, yeah.
Surrounded by animals that would probably eat you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why it closed, and it takes a lot of money to run this place. Because, you gotta get electricity, you gotta get running water, you gotta get all that stuff. You have to bring food out there.
You have to boat people back and forth that work there.
You have to boat the people who work. You have to boat the prisoners.
So I understand why. The only thing
if something breaks, they have to transport equipment across the ocean to the island,
or another person to come fix it. I mean, there is a lot of stuff that.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to run a place like that. Is it necessarily a
bad thing to do for certain criminals? Not necessarily, but in the long run, is there a purpose that this place would serve that other prisons cannot? I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I'd be more inclined to be for it if we're housing, like, the most violent people that are in jail, like, I don't know, maybe people on death row or people who are, domestic terrorists or whatever.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Not just like you shouldn't be able to get a speeding ticket and have to get put here.
Yeah, that would be horrendous.
That would be awful.
Which I think he wants to go 5 over violent criminals, but what stage is it that you're considered the most violent?
Yeah, what tips you over the line?
Yeah, like what do you have to do to be in that category? Because I mean there's so many. I feel like there's so many different things that people would consider you a very violent criminal. But then there's other people that are like, oh no, that's not extreme enough, and it has to get to like this point. So like, what is the gap in that?
I think everybody has a different opinion on what is like more violent than the other thing. What tips you over the edge of being like, being able to be sent here.
And I will probably say this. No, we will not tell you who we voted for. We're not going to tell you who we want to be in office. So if you don't like Trump or don't like Kamala or anything, that is fine. This is not a political channel. This is just
not at all.
This is just talking about different stuff, random stuff, whatever. So even if you do not like Trump,
what we want everybody that listens to it to know is we're just biased. We're not biased. Sorry, we're not biased to any side. We're not Republican. We're not Democrat. We're not independent. We're just nothing.
We're just, you know what? Consider us 5-year-olds, and we have no ability to vote. We can't even.
We just say how it is in our brain.
Yeah. Well, let's just think of us as neutral. Can't do anything.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just wanted to point that out because some people may think this, that, or the other, and I just rather than
some people might think just because that we say that this might be a good thing, but throw the assumption out there that we are maybe Republican.
And then if we said this was dumb, they would think we're Democrat. So
exactly.
It's just we're neither, right? We're
just it's just our opinion on it. And everyone has different opinions. Yeah, so
don't if you say something that deals with politics.
We don't even know politics well at all. So
we kind of don't.
I couldn't even tell you really from a political standpoint what is good and what is bad. But in my mind, something like this might be good if it is executed correctly.
Yes, I kind of agree with it. If it's definitely one of those things that will serve a really good purpose, then I think this may not be a bad thing. But how much money will this actually cost? Because let's say there's only 20 of these most violent criminals in the entire world, and they're all 20 in this building. Okay, well, you're spending more money on water and
running the place, and you are
running the place for 20 people.
Then what you're getting out of it?
But if there's the whole building is full, then yes, I could see it being kind of viable because it is one of the most strictest prisons and the most dangerous prison because of its location. So it's very unlikely any of those criminals could ever escape and get into general population. So,
it's possible to escape, but you have to be good at swimming.
Wait, because I want to say I remember reading stuff about this.
It's happened,
and there's sharks actually around it.
It's happened before, and if you've played Call of Duty Zombies and you've played this map before, you would know that the characters in the game that play on the map are the ones that were designed after the people who actually escaped. So.
Yeah, I guess that is your fun
fact of the day, I guess.
Interesting fact of the day.
If you've ever played Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and you've played Zombies and you've played this map, the characters in the game that play the map, they're inspired by the people who actually escaped from this facility.
Is kind of cool, but kind of
that is kind of a cool thing.
Way.
Yeah.
It's like
it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's
very, very unlikely.
Really, really small. Yeah. You would have a better chance.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things that it might be like a 0.5% chance or a 0.05% chance.
It would be like if you were able to escape, you won the lottery. Then you just there's no point in me buying it. This one's kind of insane because we were just talking about India and the Pakistan and Israel
and the
all
quote-unquote terrorist thing.
Authorities arrest 2 targeting Lady Gaga's Brazil concert with alleged alleged bomb plot.
And I don't know, what makes it crazier is that she didn't even know it was happening until after the show was over. And to me, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's crazier. The fact that they were able to successfully arrest people who had that threat, or the fact that the crowd was 2.5 million people.
That would have been my worry, though, if what they were trying to do happened.
Yeah, exactly.
2.5
how many people would have been at risk? Were both people together whenever they were trying to do it, or were they in two separate spots?
Yeah, and also because where were they located, like right at the beginning of this, or was it like halfway through this concert? Yeah. Everything unfolded. Because if it was halfway through, I'm glad they didn't go.
Here we go. They made the arrest hours before she took the stage.
Okay,
so they got them before she even went on stage, and everybody was there.
That is a good thing, man.
Round of applause for them, because you have that's got to be one of the biggest concerts ever.
Yeah, 2.5 million people.
And the fact that the law enforcement were able to catch these guys before the concert even started.
And it's also crazy because your brain can't comprehend how many 2.5 million people actually is. Like, there's no way for your brain to imagine.
Here you go. Look at that. There's a picture.
If you are on Spotify, I would just say look it up.
You can't even put this into words.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, here's why it was so many people. Okay. And this is a good thing for her.
It was a free concert in Brazil.
She did this for free. She flew to Brazil and set this concert up for free.
Police said nothing about the alleged plot at the time in an effort to avoid panic. Okay, avoid panic. Definitely a thing that needed to be done.
Look at this. They have screens on screens on screens, and they did it on the beach.
On the beach. That kind of would have been crazy. Can you look up the biggest Metallica concert? Because I know their group was pretty big. So they had 1.6 million people. So if you,
she low-key smashed that.
Yeah, so if you've ever seen the images of Metallica's 1.6 million people concert, imagine seeing that and just add, about 1 million more people to it. And then you'd be about close. It is... Yeah. That's insane. It is estimated.
2.5 million people.
But I would say at least 2 million. Let's just even round down. Even though you're supposed to round up here, but let's just round down. Say 2 million people were there. That is, the biggest crowd for any woman in history. That is...
Hats off to everybody who organized this concert.
Those people do not get enough credit.
Because to have 2.5 million people show up for a concert, especially on a beach... you got the IT people, you got the people setting up those giant screens,
the light people, the
light people, the audio
fireworks
people
were involved, safety.
The law enforcement.
It was. I don't even want to know how long. Oh, look! In the past, organizers canceled concerts when bomb threats were involved. A handful of Taylor Swift concerts in Austria were canceled in August after an alleged terror plot was revealed. So.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they should have canceled it, or they should or shouldn't have canceled it, because that's not a me call. And if the situation was already contained, I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I would say if they hadn't arrested those people and it was up to maybe an hour before it started or 2 hours before it started, then that's maybe when you should call it, because. How are you going to find them in 2.5 million people?
Oh yeah,
that's like finding the needle in 7 haystacks.
And those are some big haystacks too.
Humongous. Yeah. You're breaking your tractor. You're breaking your tractor here.
She ain't gonna think of tractor sexy anymore.
No. your tractor's running on fumes, brother.
That is really bad.
But yeah, props to everybody that organized this event, because the fact to keep this safe for everybody is crazy.
It is.
And I mean, also props to Lady Gaga for doing it for free too.
Yeah, because she could have made a lot of money off of this.
Oh, she could have. Yeah, she would have made $10 million, $15-20 million off this. Probably even more than that, actually.
She would have made so much money. She would just, technically could just retire. Well, she can already retire, but she definitely could retire after that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she wouldn't have to do anything after that. But
this one, now again,
this I didn't even know happened until I seen it on TikTok.
If we show the video and it's I put a black box over it, it's because YouTube said no. No one was injured, no one was hit. But discretion is advised.
Yeah, no one gets harmed, no one gets, nothing happens to the people. It's just crazy what this robot actually does.
So
because
on Spotify, a robot went out of control in, where was this, China?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chinese factory, and I've already seen it. Why you can play it? I mean,
this kind of raises the question though, of, if something like this happens in the future where we try to do stuff with robots. What if this happens? Like, how do you defend yourself against something like this?
Yeah, because it's full metal. So
yeah, that thing is Spotify, really swinging.
It's pretty much, imagine a robot on, don't know exactly what it'd be called. Pretty much imagine a robot just hanging on like a kind of a cable, like someone's working on him, kind of like Iron Man's suit. Okay, it's just hanging up and he's working on it, and it just goes haywire and starts swinging its arms. Now, again, no one was harmed, no one was hit, everyone's fine.
Yeah.
It's either the robot malfunctioned somehow, I don't know. Maybe it says it on here.
Unexplained incident. So, they haven't said what happened to cause it to go, haywire. But, it kind of raises the question, because, I mean, there's so many people that's talked about this before. Like, if we try to mess too much with AI,
if AI becomes self-aware, there's literal movies out there.
It decides that it doesn't want to listen to us anymore, and it just goes, it goes crazy.
Because there's literal movies out there. Best example is iRobot. If you've never seen iRobot, that is one of the, has Will Smith in it. Kind of an old one. I think came out like 2013, 2012. It's kind of old.
Yeah.
And AI robots are, they become self-aware and they just go berserk. And that is the best way I can explain it is, AI is a love-hate thing. You could love it because it's done some cool things. You could pull up a website and ask it a simple question and it would probably give you a pretty accurate reply. It can help you with images. If you're trying to make images for something, it can help you with that. But when you get to the robot side of it, and there's the risk of them becoming self-aware, it can definitely be pretty scary because of the fact that, they are made of metal. It's not like, you can just go behind them and flip a switch off. They become self-aware. It just does not work like that. So it can be sketchy.
Literally anything can happen. One wrong 0 instead of a 1, and it could go berserk. It could blow up.
You have no idea what AI could make itself do. We will never know.
Yeah.
My thought on it is, why are we not, how do you test stuff like that and it's messed up that much? Why are we not doing it in increments? It's like people now just want to get it all done in one sitting. It's like, just piece it together one part at a time and test that part. Make sure it's functioning right. Don't just piece the whole thing together and just turn it on. And
we could also be stupid, and these guys were taking it like one step at a time, and they just accidentally did something wrong, or maybe it malfunctioned, or
there's not any information about it. At the bottom, it said they haven't released any information.
There's virtually nothing.
This is all more of a
up to interpretation.
Yeah, it's just, what do you think could have happened?
I would be more worried about the thing holding it up, because that's not that doesn't look like it's a heavy piece of equipment.
No, it kind of.
And he drug it halfway across the screen.
Yeah, and that could have been bad. Another thing is, why post this?
Yeah.
Why would they just willy-nilly post this on, what was it posted on Twitter, I think it said?
Yeah, I think it said Twitter.
Somewhere I think it's
one video of the
12 million views.
Now let me pull up the post. Let's see what the post says.
12 million views. Just moments ago, a robot in a lab suddenly went berserk, making the first robot rebellion in human history.
Sorry about that.
That is...
it is freaking out, man.
Yeah, and it's...
And it looks like as soon as he grabs the... Yeah, it looks like as soon as he grabbed the crane, it just stopped. So maybe it was...
trying to move,
I don't know.
And it couldn't... That could make sense, is maybe it was trying to move and it couldn't move.
So then it just started freaking out. And then it realized, oh, wait. It's because I'm hooked up,
Yeah, that could... Honestly,
and as soon as it looks like as soon as he grabs a hold of that crane, he stops.
Yeah, like he's about to grab it right.
Boom, he's coming around. Boom, he grabs it.
Moves it a little bit. Boom.
One last swing and boom, he's done.
That could be a power thing. Maybe he ran out of power because of all the motion, or...
yeah. Something like this could have happened for literally any reason. A part could have overheated, a malfunction, maybe they accidentally put in something wrong.
You never know. A piece of cloth like the size of a dog hair could have been on something and it just completely messed it up.
Static, maybe.
We have... Obviously, I don't even know what the term would be, but I don't make robots, so I don't know the complexity of making an AI robot. I have no idea. Obviously,
but I would assume it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's probably really detailed and really deep, and like Wyatt said, it could have messed up and put a 0 or a 1 where it was not supposed to be, and just completely messed up the whole thing. You never know.
But yeah, I'm sure this is just a freak accident, but people will speculate.
Yeah, there's probably conspiracy
theories and be like, about it. Here it comes! It's already starting. The robot rebellion, those kind of things.
iRobot all over again.
No, yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah. If you guys have watched our last podcast, this is, kind of feeds into it,
Yeah, it kind of feeds into the live. We are getting to the end of this podcast, so if you're still here, thank you for watching so far. This is I'm
sure this has probably been a longer podcast than our first one was, but
we're only about an hour and a half in. We're fine.
Okay, so it'll be about the same.
Yeah, close to roughly. About the same. But Trump considering 100% tariffs on movies not made in the U.S.
Which this one's a couple days old now. I'm pretty sure this came out towards the end of last week.
This is my thought on it though. When it says not made in the US, is it saying if Hollywood goes out to Canada, British Columbia, whatever? Somewhere.
Here it goes. Here it says right here.
Oh, for
years. Filmmakers have years.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have been leaving Hollywood for destinations including the UK and Canada at a lower cost. So I think instead of filming in Hollywood, they leave to go to other places because it's cheaper to do it there compared to here.
Well, the reason why I think it's actually cheaper, though, is because think about it. There's stuff in Canada or UK or whatever that has locations that are not in the US. Or there's an aesthetic they want in the background that's not in the US. And instead of spending the money to make that environment, it's cheaper to go to location than it is to make the environment that they're working in.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's what if they start filming it at Hollywood in the studio, in the studio at Hollywood, but maybe in the show they go to a different place, some of the characters go to a different place and they try to focus on those characters, and they travel to a specific place, I don't know, maybe Norway or something, to capture a spot there. do they still get that tariff? Or is it them just planning the whole movie and doing the whole movie outside of the US and not doing anything at Hollywood or anything at Hollywood?
Oh, here's one.
And then that's how they get it.
I don't know if you see that, but it says Trump said on his Truth Social platform, it is in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. We want movies made in America again. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick responded to an announcement saying we're on it, but the details are unclear. Trump's statement did not say whether the tariff would apply to American production companies producing films abroad.
So I guess this kind of answers the question. I just didn't read it long enough, but the details are still unclear. Trump's statement doesn't say whether the tariff would apply to American production companies producing films abroad.
So this could mean one thing, though. We were talking about that terrible, horrible, worst horror movie ever about Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
So would it cost more money for them to bring their movie to the U.S., or would it cost Hollywood more money to go to a different location to film for a movie in the U.S.? There's definitely some... I don't see this being a thing that ends up going through fully.
I mean, probably not. I don't really agree.
I do not agree with this one.
With something like this, because... I mean, I guess it depends on what the movie is, but like... Say you're doing a movie and, I don't know, it's about Vikings, and, you know, there's like nothing in the United States to film a Viking location. So you travel to, I don't know, the UK or Sweden or Norway or something like that, and you film a location there. I mean, just for like the aesthetic, you know? So I don't know. I just don't really agree with this.
I think if it was for movies coming in the U.S., sure, whatever. Because there's not a lot of movies from overseas or different countries that do as good as Hollywood movies. Rather that be...
I think it's more
probably budget, but...
more of them traveling to film scenes in specific places.
And I don't... And like we were talking about the Vikings, a lot of... if you ever seen it, there's a couple of Vikings TV shows on Netflix. And I believe most of them were filmed in Greenland because it was a lot of, not mountains, but there was a lot of green hills and it was wavy. So there was a lot of battle area scenes that you could do because it's like when you think of Vikings, you're thinking of these big fights in these rolling hills. Yeah. So a lot of those TV shows were made out of country because the U.S. doesn't really have that option around here. It's mountains and farmland. And
that's essentially it.
It's just mountains, farmland, and or just forest. That's pretty much all we have around here. So there's not really much options for fight scenes like that.
Yeah. I mean, several recent major films produced by U.S. studios were shot outside of America, such as Deadpool and Wolverine, Wicked, and Gladiator 2. So, I just don't know.
Does that also mean movies that, like, see, that's the thing, I wish there was more information about it. Is it one of those things, like, if that movie from, you know, if it was made in 1975 and it was filmed out of country, is it going to get hit with something, or is it only new movies being filmed out of the U.S.? You know, like...
I think it would probably start from movies after the policy is signed. Like, maybe if movies are in production when the policy is signed, then they get hit with it too. But I it's not in here, but I did read that if anybody watches, like, Christopher Nolan movies and stuff like that, he's got a new movie coming out next year called The Odyssey. That would be one of the movies that gets hit by this, because he's doing most of his filming probably in Europe, just for the aesthetic and maybe, you know, the land and, I mean, like, geographical issues, you know.
But what would that... I don't know if it's considered a TV show or a movie, but what about, like, natural...
National Geographic. National Geographic.
Yeah, so like would they be hit with that? Because
I know they're technically documentaries, but
in a way they could be TV shows or
half the time they don't film out in the US.
We have that one thing like something Discovery or something about oceans and all that. Well, some things around the US. So what would that be considered? If you have to go to like Japan because they have something over there that we don't have here, would they be hit with something for a movie?
They're doing a documentary on lions and cheetahs. Yeah. Well, we don't have lions and cheetahs in the United States.
Yeah, so
they have to go to like Africa to do that. And are they going to get hit by it too, or will they not? Considering it's a documentary instead of a movie.
Yeah, it would be.
But you could argue that a documentary is a form of movie anyway.
Yeah, because I think National Geographic has some movies about like specific animals, like But how would that work then? Because the whole premise of that show is to show animals around the globe. Well, how are you going to be able to show animals around the globe if you're hit with stuff?
Right. So I don't know. I don't really know what they're trying to do with this, but I don't necessarily agree with putting these on films just because they're not filmed in the US.
I don't know if the Odyssey will be hit with it, depending on how long it takes them to, if this ends up going through, because it may be one of those things that doesn't get completely finished and, it starts going through like the house and whatever other places it's got to go through. Yeah. Maybe by then the Odyssey will already be out and it won't have any impact, but it could be one of those things that it goes through like September of one year and it doesn't actually go into effect until like January 1st of that following year. May not be that bad. It may not even pass. It probably won't. I don't see it passing.
I don't really see it passing either, honestly.
Just because of what it would probably mean to the movie industry as a whole.
Just in case that it does, But
let's hope it does.
Once again, if you watched our Land podcast, this is kind of doubling up on stuff because new information is coming out.
Oh my god! But apparently, look at all the fingerprints.
I know they've been touching the screen like crazy. But Asus and Microsoft are apparently attempting to make a handheld console, which I don't really know how to feel about this.
And also, if you're on YouTube and it's blurred, it's because this is leaked. So I may cover it up if I am not allowed to show the image. But the best way to describe it is
you can find it all over Twitter if you really wanted to.
Yeah, imagine an Xbox controller split apart
in half, and there's a screen in the middle.
That's That's
best pretty much
way
what it
to
is.
describe what it is if I have to cover it up.
I think it kind of looks like a PS Vita.
Oh, a 7-inch 120 hertz LCD display and 8-core AMD Ryzen CPU. Now this is it kind of reminds me of the thing off of Steam. What is it called? The Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, yeah.
Yeah, imagine a Steam Deck, but with an Xbox controller split in half. And it's that screen. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think they're seeing how well like Nintendo Switches are doing. And they're trying to
this thing give me the same capabilities as an Xbox would or a PC would on that same game. Would I be still getting the same amount of frames on this thing as I would be a Xbox Series X or an S?
Both have a 7-inch 120 hertz display. But the ROG Ally 2 Xbox version will come with an 8-core 36-watt Ryzen Z2 Extreme and 64 gigs of DDR5.
Oh my god.
Holy smokes. While the regular one comes with a 4-core... yeah.
So you're telling me, though, that it's... I think you told me the price earlier. It's about $400, right?
Yeah, I think the rumored price is $350.
So you're telling me that I could spend the same amount I would on a console and get something that technically would probably give me better frames than an actual console would? and it's handheld.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not against it. But the thing is why are we not working on VR more? Like, if you've ever seen Ready Player One, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say I want that kind of VR. I've never played a VR, but everything I watch about VR, it's so clunky. Like, it doesn't seem smooth.
Like, the potential is there, they're just executing it wrong.
Yeah, it's like
it seems like
they're making stuff that isn't necessarily a good thing to make right now. We need better VR capabilities. And I'm hoping I'm alive to see VR become Ready Player One VR. You know, this big open area where you can go play all these games. That's what we need. I just wish every gaming company in the entire world would come together, make a base thing, whether it be a monthly subscription or it's a one-time purchase, and you can play every game on there. And you could go play
like, there's no reason to have that much greed over it. Like, for example, if you're into baseball, or I think there's another game. What is it? I can't remember the other game, but MLB The Show, their games, they launch only on Xbox and PlayStation consoles. They don't release them on PC at all. Which, I mean, there's so many people that have PC now. There's arguably more people that own a PC now compared to what Xbox and PlayStation have.
Another thing we could talk about, since we're talking about PC and all that real quick, GTA 6 second trailer came out, and
I actually have that pulled up.
If you go to the end of it, it has
PlayStation 5, right here.
Xbox Series
captured
X
on PlayStation 5,
and captured on PlayStation 5. No mention
does not show PC on there.
So,
and we literally just talked about this in our last podcast, that they were delaying it probably. I mean, our guess is probably 6 months.
Yeah, for PC, you'll probably have to wait 6 months to another year to be able to play
just to get this game. So 6 months after May, that's November. We probably have to wait till November, if not at the beginning of 2027, just to get the game.
Yeah, and a lot of people are probably like, well, why is that such a big deal if you've already waited this long? Well, the problem with it is, in my eyes at least, it's 2025. If your game company cannot make a game that launches on all platforms at the exact same time, it's not an issue of PC or whatever. It's an issue in your game company. It is 2025.
And I mean, we even talked about that in our first podcast. They've been fully productioning this game for 7 years now. It'll probably be 8 years whenever this comes out.
And it's just,
you can't port this to PC. How did you spend 8 years developing the game for console?
And me and White have a friend that had a good point too, and most people will probably think this, is you make video games on a PC. So how is it not viable for PC at launch if you're developing the game on PC? Like, I understand there's a few things you probably have to change in coding or whatever for PC players, and that's understandable, but you're telling you can't, if you're going to delay the game, you can't spend that little bit of time to get it ported over to PC so PC can also play it on launch.
I mean, everybody knows Rockstar kind of likes to suck the money dry, essentially. So this is going to get a ton of people buying consoles just to play this game, and they're going to release it on PC probably 10 months later, and everybody's going to be buying it on PC probably again.
So they're spending, if it's $100 too, you just spent $200 on the same game.
Yeah.
Because they're already saying it's going to be $100.
Sucking the money, plus they're probably going to release online with PC, if not like maybe 2-3 months after. Then everybody's going to be buying shark cards to buy all the stuff. Yeah. You know?
And that's the problem with gaming companies now, is I'm not saying that Rockstar Games is going to ruin GTA 6 by delaying it. My point is if you're that hungry for money, then you're no longer doing it for your fan base. You're not doing it for your fan base anymore. You're doing it for the money. So if there's a game-breaking bug and you're only there for the money, it's going to take you 6-7 months to fix this probably simple bug that all you have to do is change this 0 to a 1. And and that's all it is.
Why? I just don't understand why they can't release it on all 3 consoles. Spend their time, put half the company on developing online, put the other half on fixing bug fixes or whatever's happening, and then just have content after content after content after content coming out once online comes out. That would be much more viable than doing it this way, because you're going to have a lot of people angry, and not a lot of people's going to, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, but a lot of people also aren't going to go out of their way to spend $500 on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X just to play Grand Theft Auto.
Look around at consoles. He looked at the PlayStations, I looked at the Xboxes, and the cheapest one for Xbox Series X or the S I could find was on Amazon. It was refurbished. It was a white S, and it was $300. Now, I'm not an expert.
Which those prices are going to go up. Those prices are going to go up because of the tariffs and stuff.
Yep.
That is going on right now.
I'm not.
They even announced that they were going to up the prices.
But I don't have $300 I could just go spend on a console for a game. Most people don't.
And then have to spend $100 more just to buy it.
Yep. And that'd be different if they're like, okay, since we're, PC doesn't get it to this time, if you somehow link whatever, there's a chance, you get a discount. Like, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But they're not going to do that. You're going to have to spend the $200 if the game ends up being $100. You're going to spend about $200 on this game just to play it when it releases and on PC, and just no one has that type of money. The only people that do are people that make content.
What I think they should do is, if they go this route and they don't release it on PC on May 26th, you release it on May 26th for consoles, give it maybe a month, maybe June, July 1st, maybe. You start the pre-orders for PC. Then if you pre-order it on PC, you should get like a bonus whenever the game actually comes out for waiting.
Which, I don't know if I talked to you about. No, I did talk to you about this. Me and Wyatt did some figuring, and if you go look at the first or second trailer of GTA 5 to when you could pre-order GTA 5, it was about a 10-month gap from when the game released to when you can pre-order. And if my calculations are right, we should be getting roughly another trailer around July of this year, and that will allow you to pre-order the game. Maybe PC will have some information about when it releases for PC, but I don't know.
That's what we hope for anyway.
It's a shot in the dark, really. It is a shot.
You can't pre-order it for consoles yet, but I know on the PlayStation Store you can add it to your wish list.
I do not know about Xbox, but everything I've seen,
I don't know about Xbox. Can. Yeah. Because I've seen people put it. I know they have a page in the store for it now.
I know you cannot do that on PC. If you look up on Steam, Microsoft Store, whatever, and you type in GTA 6, nothing pops up.
There's nothing. Yeah.
Nothing ever
GTA 5 is going to pop up.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, the thing is, I said something, I shouldn't have to wait a year. If I have to wait a week to a month longer to get it on PC, that's fine. I shouldn't have to wait more than 6 months. Actually,
if this game comes out on May 26, 2027, this just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it should not happen. No one should have to deal with that. And that is the issue.
But, speaking of games that don't take too long to come out, if anybody has played Ghost of Tsushima, the popular story mode game, they have another game called Ghost of Yotei that is coming out.
Okay, I've not seen the price of this game. I just now seen the price of this
game. The regular edition is $69.99, which is normal price, right? But the collector's edition, which I honestly probably would have bought collector's edition, but I'm not going to spend $250 for it.
$250?
I'm just not.
For a video game is insane. What does it come with?
It is set 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima.
300 years?
Yeah, you're still in that Japan, aesthetic. So, and, I personally enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima a lot.
I have not played
so, I'm sure this one will be really good, but I just wish it wasn't $250 for for the collector's edition.
Do they send you actual items? Okay, you do receive items.
Physical items. Let me pull this up in a new tab so it's easier to see. It's kind of blurry,
mask,
but Ghost Mask. You get 4 art cards, a sash. You get the hilt of a sword.
Hey, that paper craft is kind of cool. It's like a golden cherry blossom tree. Best way I can explain that.
Yeah, it's kind of like origami.
Yeah,
in a way, or a pop-up book. There you go.
Yeah,
pop-up book is a better thing.
You get some coins.
You get a coin. It says it's a coin game and pouch. So I guess it's some kind of coin game.
To me, I think the coolest things that you would get besides the game, like these are physical items, would be probably the little pop-up book thing and probably the mask. That
mask looks really cool. And really this hilt, the hilt for the sword would be pretty cool too if it's not plastic. If it's like actually metal.
Oh yeah,
that would be pretty fire.
If it's actually, I can't lie, real metal, then I feel like that'd be like
they really put money into doing
item type thing.
Yeah.
And
you get 2
in-game
2 things of armor, a horse and saddle,
and a new sword kit. A
charm, charm, traveler's maps,
and obviously
in the game, and then you also get an in-game mask and a 6 avatar set, which I don't really know what that means, but
like it's cool, but $250.
I mean, I don't know how much of this we can actually show, but here's a picture of the game. Well, it's blurry. I won't do that, but here's a picture of. This is probably in-game footage.
And if you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you're on Spotify, it's a person on a horse, and in the distance, there's I don't know the actual name of it. Like a temple.
Yeah, it's like a temple.
And there's a bunch of cherry blossom trees, and their leaves are on the ground. And he's
bright pink. It's really pretty.
You could probably just look up Ghost of how do you say the last part?
Yotei.
Yeah,
Yotei.
Yotei, yep. And
you'll be able to see it. It actually follows a female. You're the main character is a female, which is kind of that's kind of cool. Follows a haunted lone mercenary.
1600s of Royal Japan. Whatever you say the word.
Follows a haunted lone mercenary named Asu. She's thirsty for revenge, travels through beautiful rugged landscapes of northern Japan, hunting those who killed her family many years earlier. So, she's on the search of a gang of 6 outlaws, but she finds much more than vengeance. Throughout her journey, she discovers unlikely allies and greater bonds than she could have imagined. So, it's probably going to be, if you guys have played Ghost of Tsushima, it's probably going to be Ghost of Tsushima-esque game, but probably better. Usually the sequels are always better than the prequel.
Yep.
So, I'm excited to play it.
Hot take, unless you're probably Elden Ring, because I don't think Night Reign's going to be good.
Yeah, which I'm actually intrigued. Does this game come out on PC on launch?
Honestly,
PS5 exclusive, so it doesn't even come out on PC.
October 2nd, 2025, and is a standalone sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Pre-orders for the game are already open.
Let's see. Ghost of Tsushima, for example, came out on July 17th, 2020, and the Windows edition took almost 4 years to come out on PC.
So by about 2029, everyone on PC, you'll be able to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I'm excited to play this, but I'm not buying the PlayStation 5 to buy it.
Be an old feller.
I'm gonna be
15 kids, 29 grandkids.
In UNC status,
In UNC status.
I'm not gonna be no Zoomer anymore.
It's
everybody's gonna be calling me a boomer.
I think every game should be on PC. I think every game should be on every console. By this time.
I feel like that should be the standard. And if you, for some reason, can't develop a game, either delay the game or get some help from a different company. Yeah. I don't know.
It's kind of sad that we're at this point in life where it's 2025 and most games are not on every big AAA games or pretty known games. They're not on every single console at launch or around launch.
But that's about it for what we wanted to talk about. So if you've made it this far, we got kind of a fun little segment for you guys, and I'm sure everybody has seen this.
Yeah.
100 men versus one gorilla. It's been going crazy on Twitter, on Reddit, on YouTube, on TikTok even.
Just everywhere.
And all I'm going to say is if it's just 100 random men, we're getting stomped.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
GG.
But if you can handpick the men, I think there's a chance, right? But, I mean, they can lift and throw things up to 1,700 pounds.
Other strengths. They can also squat up to 1,000 pounds. They have a bite force strong enough to break bones and can break reinforced glass. This is obviously a silverback gorilla. This is like top notch. But technically, the one gorilla, most people are saying silverback gorilla is just that one gorilla.
They're estimated to be 4 to 10 times stronger than the average human.
And if you also see, a silverback gorilla can lift and throw up to 815 kilograms of dead weight, which is more than 20 adult humans combined.
He can knock out 20 people at one time if he really wanted to.
Which is as a result of having higher ratio of muscle mass to body weight. That would make a pretty good sense, actually.
And I mean, just take a look at these guys, man.
That's a Chad right there. Why is that one on the right posted up like that?
This guy or this guy?
No, down right next to where you were. To the left.
Oh.
Up now? Up. You got this. Up,
this guy.
Why is he... Since you're on Spotify, imagine T-posing pretty much as a gorilla.
Yeah. I mean, look at these behemoths, bro.
Oh, God. Wait, go back to the all quick. What was that thing?
What, like up here?
Yeah. No, show more. Where was that thing? I just seen it. Was it this one? It had to be. Bite for. Oh yeah. Look up what is stuff that has 1,300 psi. I'm just trying to see because they have a bite force of 1,300 psi. I just heard you.
Sorry, I'm pressing random ones. Apparently,
a bull shark and a gorilla both have a bite force.
Has the same bite force around. Okay. So, what? Okay, here we go. What can 1,500 crush? It can pierce skulls and crack turtle shells.
Using its incredible jaw strength. So around 1,500 psi, you can go through turtle shells.
Yeah.
See if you type in machines, if it tells you any machines that are. Oh, here we go.
Bikes, barbecue grills, patio furniture, fencing, vehicles. Oh, this is for a pressure washer. Okay. So.
Well, look at that. Kind of gives you an idea, though, to clean sidewalk. No. Yeah, to clean oil stains, second stories, industrial equipment, and paint prep, I guess, you would need 3,600 plus PSI in a power washer. I don't know if that's the same PSI, but that's insane.
Yeah, it's believed that a gorilla punch can be strong enough to shatter your skull with one slam of its arm. I mean, he gets a hold of you and you are dead.
Yeah, it's over. It is completely over.
There's only 6 animals with a stronger bite force than it.
An orca is number 1 with 19,000 PSI.
That is crazy. Crocodiles.
37. That was a massive decrease.
Yeah, that's insane.
19,000 to
3 times as much.
Yeah. A great white shark has 4,000 PSI.
Alligator
2,000. Hippopotamus has 1,800.
Jaguar, he's on the same level as a gorilla.
A gorilla 1,300.
So I mean, I guess it's a good thing that they like plants rather than meat.
We both said so. I mean, the fact that we both said that at the same time.
We're just on the same wavelength, you know? We're just on the same wavelength.
We have to be.
I mean, they use their mouth to strip the bark off of trees.
I mean, come on, dude. No. I don't care what anyone says.
Really?
The only way this would work is if we have weapons other than our fist. Now, I'm not saying like PPUs, but like a bat. something that can do a little bit more damage if it swung. But no. Polar bears 1,200. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, polar bears are right underneath it. I mean, 100 men versus a polar bear? Maybe likely, because polar bears, they're bigger. They're not as agile as a gorilla is. If you've seen a gorilla run, you would know what I'm talking about. Those things, they can move, son.
You ever seen the one doing 360s?
Yeah, I mean, see if I can find a short little video of it.
That is hilarious. Running. 10-second one. I don't know if it's...
Oh, here we go. Running upright. Look at him go. I mean, he's not really... He's not really...
This is a terrible video to show.
He's not really running full speed. I mean, they can run faster than that.
Yeah, they can definitely run faster than that. But, I don't know. Go look up running speed. What is gorilla's running speed? Max running speed. 25 miles per hour.
25 miles per hour.
Now go look.
The average male human runs 8 miles per hour. He would do circles around you.
He can almost catch up to Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was 27.8 miles per hour.
And that's an Olympic gold medalist runner right there.
Yeah, he's about the only one on the entire planet that could escape a gorilla.
Yeah. I mean, they can't run like that for a long time, but still. You just can't. I don't know, 100 random men is not beating a silverback gorilla. I don't care.
Oh no, there's no way. There's no way. Maybe if you
not to mention really how everybody says gorillas are like monkeys in general are way smarter than humans.
Well, look, this guy's gonna. They're talking about numbers.
He's gonna strategize better than us. He's stronger than us. He's faster than us. He's got better stamina.
This one says 100 men have a significant advantage in sheer numbers. A gorilla would be overwhelmed quickly by a large coordinated attack. See, they're saying that, but you don't understand that if that animal feels cornered, it's just going to start swinging. No hesitation.
Yeah, all it takes is one person to get flattened, and then some people might hesitate, and they're like, "Oh wait, I don't want to mess with this guy."
It's it. I mean, it is I don't know what most people have choose. I think the silverback gorilla, depending on, because there may be a silverback gorilla that would run away if it's seen that many people, or there's gonna be some of them that stand their ground and they're gonna get pissed if you get anywhere.
For taking a random silverback gorilla out of the wild and putting it in a cage with 100 men who want to kick its butt, I think that gorilla is gonna whoop our ass. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Gorillas rely on fast twitch muscles, which fatigue quickly. Okay, bud.
All it takes is him grabbing a hold of one human and just using him like a pinball, bro. and we're just dead. They're smarter than us, they're faster than us, they're stronger than us, they're bigger than us. Everybody would have to be locked in on him, and everybody would have to fight him together.
You'd have to work as a unit to do anything.
If we're going one-on-one, you might as well just chalk it up.
And all I'm saying is I'm being at the back of the line.
Yeah.
I'm not being in the front. Not being in the front.
If we're going one by one, the people at the end are probably going to be so nervous and so scared.
But they may be at the end of it because the gorilla may be really tired if it's one by one.
Yeah, it just depends on how fast he gets through the 99 people,
But I still think the gorilla takes it. There's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been to the zoo and you've seen a gorilla, you know how big some of them things are.
Oh yeah, they're gigantic.
You do not want to be a human in front of a gorilla who is angry.
Oh no, you might as well just Alt F4.
I mean, yeah, you've built your coffin, and I mean, all you gotta do is lay in it.
Yep.
You might as well just accept your fate.
Just accept.
If you're locked in a cage with it, and he's angry, and he sees it, you are the one that's pissing him off. He's gonna go after you.
He's going, Jesus at you. There's no way around it.
You don't stand a chance in a 1v1 fight against a gorilla. 100 on one, all attacking at the same time. Maybe we can do it.
Yeah, depending on that gorilla. But if that gorilla is going berserk, I mean, you might as well just wrap it up. All you gotta do is do a 360 twirl, and there's 50 of us done. I don't think it's possible.
But I mean, yeah. I think that kind of closes out our second ever podcast.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna try doing about 2 podcasts every week. But leave a like on this. Comment any other things you want us to cover or talk about. You may want us to cover, whatever it is. If you're on Spotify, I think there's a follow button on Spotify. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there should be a follow button on Spotify.
I don't know if there's like a way to like the podcast. Maybe you can. I'm kind of new to the whole Spotify thing. YouTube's just easier to decipher. I haven't really looked at Spotify that much, but if you're on there, follow us, and if you are able to like it on Spotify, leave a like on the podcast on Spotify too.
And if you guys want any other topics, maybe, or like you want us to maybe focus more on world news, or maybe you want us to focus more on movies and entertainment, or maybe if you want to see us talk about sports or space, or maybe even gaming, like whatever topic you want. If anybody wants more topics or more of a specific topic, then we're all for that.
Just let us know in the comments. If you're on Spotify, come over to YouTube and leave your comment on what you prefer. I mean, it's entirely up to y'all. We're just kind of going with it right now. I mean,
we're just kind of winging it.
We really are
seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and
a bit of everything.
Kind of going with the flow.
But I think that is the end of this podcast. So hope y'all did enjoy.
So we will see you guys on Monday.
Yep, Monday.
That will be our next one. Monday is our next one. Mondays and Fridays.
As of right now, unless something changes. Shouldn't change, but
unless there's some blockbuster news maybe that comes out, we have to record a podcast early, then
may get we'll record one early or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
But hope y'all did enjoy. See you in the next one.